Hey guys, welcome back to Puff It Louder, and welcome back to Steam Prison. So, okay, our parents are dead. We probably didn't kill them. We have a knife in our hands. Well, now we don't, but Finn came in and he's like, we're gonna work through this together. So now we're gonna go to the police and tell them, like, yo, my parents are dead, I guess. Yikes. It's just not a good situation. Whatever, let's just move on.
君が今言ったことは全部本当なのか
Yes, I would not joke about the death of my parents.
ああ、そうだな。しかし、一体誰が
No, nobody. My father and my mother were both well liked. As a politician, he no doubt had enemies, though. At the very least, I don't know of anybody who bore ill will towards them.
そうか。
コルドア殿、彼女はどうなりますか？
どうだろうな。ティスティラ君の父君は政治家。複雑な事情がありそうだ。早速、捜査を依頼するとしよう。関係者であるティスティラ君は新会員から出ないでくれ。
Understood.
ユークレース君は
俺は彼女のそばについています。
Thanks, Finn.
気を強く持つことだ、ティスティラ君。
Yes, I know. This was the only possible course of action, but I feel uneasy. No matter what I did, it couldn't change the fact that my parents were dead, gone from me forever. Everything reminded me of that. But this is for the best. Attempting to hide their deaths would have done nothing except make me the prime suspect. This was the best choice.
礼拝堂へ行きませんか？
The chapel?
ご両親に祈りを捧げるために。祈ったところで何かが変わるわけではありませんが。
Finn looked away and mumbled a dejected apology. Yes, I'll do that. But if I'm alone right now, I think I'll go insane. Will you come with me, Finn?
はい、喜んで。
Finn's so nice. Oh.
ここはいつ来ても静かですね。
Yes, there's nobody here but us. The chapel was part of the temple, a place to offer devotion to the Holy Yun. We approached the icon of our faith and said our prayers, and then sat down on one of the pews. Finn sat beside me. The only sound I could hear in the quiet was our breathing. No, I'm just kidding. Father, Mother, I'd known that they were mortal and that someday their lives would end. I just didn't expect it to happen so early in my own life. Was there some way I could have saved them? I tried to think of anything I might have done for them, but drew a blank. The stab wounds were deep. It must have been very painful. May they at least rest peacefully in the world beyond. I looked at the ceiling. My breathing was steady.
当分は結婚どころじゃなくなりそうですね。
Huh?
あ、突然すみません。ここは結婚式を挙げる場所でもあるので、ふとあなたの結婚のことを思い出したんです。ドレスの試着が終わって、遠くない未来、ここで結婚式を挙げていたのに、残念ですね。
This is not what I want to talk about when my parents just fucking died. Well, the marriage was called off yesterday either way.
亡くなったってどうしてですか？
I don't know. My parents told me when I got home. They didn't know why. They were pretty disappointed about it, though. I wasn't as depressed over it as they were. I never wanted the marriage very much in the first place. Perhaps I was even a little relieved that it was cancelled. I was going to come to the temple first thing in the morning to ask why. We talked about it before I went to bed. That was my last conversation with them. I wish I could go back to the past. Losing them this way was horrible. We never even had a proper goodbye. All they'd ever done was support me, and I'd never have the chance to return that favor. And now I never could. What's going to happen to me now, I wonder? I had no idea. I felt like a vast darkness was engulfing me.
大丈夫ですよ。
Finn placed his hand on mine. Finn.
言ったでしょ。俺はあなたの味方です。誰が何と言おうと、あなたを信じます。
Finn, I'm sorry I ever doubted you. You're so nice to me. Thanks. I took his hand and lay my head on his shoulder. I'm a little tired. Can I rest here for a minute?
お好きにどうぞ。寝ても構いません。
Thank you. Thank you, Finn. No, I'm just kidding. Moment ruined. Oh shoot. I'm glad I found the pendant. They won't find me if I sneak back to my room. Oh, this is a fucking flashback. Mother! Oh, whoops. I'm sorry.
あなたはティステラ家の一人娘なのよ。もう少し自覚を。
そこまでにしなさい、ミスティ。その子が萎縮してしまってるじゃないか。
Beef! Mom!
あなた。
何か理由があって外へ行ったんだろう。
My father's kind voice calmed me down and I nodded. I lost the pendant Mother gave to me. Wow, Jenny, shut off your phone! I went to find it. I found it. Look! I turned towards my mother and apologized again.
何事もなく戻ってきてよかったよ。
My father embraced me. His facial hair, disgusting as it is, tickled against my cheek.
父さんも母さんも心配するのはお前がとても大事だからだよ。
I love you, both of you.
ああ、父さんもお前が大好きだよ。
I'm voicing her as if she's 13 because I'm pretty sure that's when this happened, but whatever. So young sounding. Oh shit! Footsteps echoed through the chapel. Finn and I barely had a chance to stand before they had us surrounded. What is this? I didn't understand what was going on. I looked around, confused by the hostile glares being aimed at us. What? I'm under arrest?
そんな何かの間違いだ。彼女はやっていない。
黙れ下級警察官。こちらには揺るぎない証拠が複数ある。公務執行を妨害するならば資格を剥奪するぞ。
俺は
It's okay, Finn. Let's follow their orders. I don't want you to lose your job because of me.
でも
Finn, you said you'd trust me. You really meant that, didn't you?
はい。
Then I can accept my fate. If there is someone who believes in me, I can accept it.
ですが、やってもいない罪を着せられるなんて不条理です。
I know, but I can't fight my way out of this. No matter what they say, I'm innocent. I'll never confess to killing my parents. I'll clear my name someday, and I want you to be there on that day.
わかりました。俺、
行くぞ。さっさと来い。
An officer stepped between us, making it impossible for me to take Finn's outstretched hand. The men marched me away from Finn, their expressions watchful and wary. I turned as we reached the chapel door. Oh no. Finn's expression was devastated as he looked at me. I'm sorry, Finn.
騒ぐんじゃないぞ。いいな。
I know that. I murmured the words quietly to myself as I listened to the sound of receding footsteps. They'd forced me to change into different clothes and put me in one of the holding cells. I've put so many criminals in here. I know everything about this place. Even if I scream, nobody will be able to hear it. The holding cells were designed to contain criminals and suspects. Taking criminals to these cells was part of my job as a rank 1 police officer. I didn't know much about what happened to them afterwards. I never dreamed that I'd end up here myself. I laughed in disbelief at my misfortune. But I'm not dreaming. The cold walls, the sparse furnishings, the crime I was accused of. None of this was a dream. It would be nice if it was. My vision became blurry and my eyelids itched. My throat and my nose hurt, but not as much as my heart. Whether I'd killed them or not would be discovered eventually. But either way, my parents were dead. That was never going to change. My parents were never coming back. I knew they would die one day, but I never thought they'd be gone so soon. I'd wondered if I'd been a good daughter to them. All I'd ever done was worry them or give them extra work to do. I can't even ask them now. I told myself I had to be strong, but just look at me now. My tears refused to be held back any longer. I just want to see them one more time, just to say thank you. I kept thinking about what Finn had said. This isn't right. No, it wasn't right. My father, my mother, myself, none of us deserved this. What unknown enemy could deal out such cruelty? I didn't know. I didn't see the faintest ray of hope. Even so, I need to be strong and live. Even if I didn't know how much more I might be forced to endure, I was alive. My father and my mother were both dead, but Creamoo Testella was alive. And as long as I was alive, I could find out what had really happened. I couldn't resurrect the dead, but I could avenge this atrocity. This chaos will not swallow me, ever. I will survive. I will survive! Okay. The day of the case. Wait, aren't we already on the day of the case? Okay, whatever. They just had to switch the scene. Okay. Excuse me? The depths? What are you talking about? I haven't confessed to anything. I'm innocent. Let me prove it. It's a crime to deny someone their rights, which is what you're doing to me right now. The words were an echo of ones I'd heard before, and it made my skin crawl. It's like Sir Burger from the Hounds. He had said something similar as he treated the citizens of his sanctuary district like objects. I'll never allow myself to be treated like that. No, I don't want to go to the depths. What the heck, dude? The distance from the holding cells to the station wasn't very far, but it felt almost unbearably long as I was stared at from all sides. I suppose it's some comfort that Finn doesn't have to see me like this. Maybe he was among those watching, and I just couldn't see him. Even if that was true, I was grateful that I didn't have to come face to face with him. I didn't want him to see me in such a powerless state. Well, this sucks. A substantial group of glaring police officers awaited me at the station. I gulped. One of them told me to walk and shoved me forward. I had no choice but to follow their orders, like a puppet with no will of her own. Send me, I see. Not as a police officer, but as a criminal. Not on an assignment, but as punishment. I was being sent down as a criminal. God, a loud bang broke the silence as the door was thrown open. I turned. Finn! I saw my partner. He came towards me, carrying a bundle of documents. Oh, Finn!
急ぎ司法を調べたところ、容疑者に二等身以内がいない場合、第三者が扶持できるとありました。彼女は祖父母が存命でないため、俺が扶持して無罪である主張を。それはできない。なぜですか？ここには、この書類にはちゃんと書かれています。ほら。
The police officer slapped the documents out of Finn's hand. They tumbled through the air and scattered on the floor.
通常の法は適用されん。
What? That doesn't make any sense!
それどういうことだ。
お前が知らなくていいことだ。立ち去れ、フィンユークレース。
嫌だ。納得できるまでここを動く気はない。法は人が社会で正しく生きるため守られなければいけない、揺らいではいけない決まり事だ。それをなんだ特殊とは。誰がそう言った。納得できる理由も得られないまま彼女は罪を着せられるのか。
黙れ、時間を取らせるな。公務執行妨害で捕らえるぞ。
公務と呼べることをしているならそうしろ。今行われようとしていることは横暴だ。
Finn is reaching for his sword. Finn, don't be hasty! If you draw your sword now, there will be consequences later.
ですがあなたはどうなるんですか。わけがわからないままやってもいない罪を背負い生きていくんですよ。いいんですか。人を助け正義を貫くあなたが親殺しだと指さされ続けるんですよ。耐えられるんですか。
Finn, of course I hate all of it, but of course I didn't want to be punished for a crime I didn't commit. I wanted to prove my innocence. But if I make a scene now, Finn will wind up in a world of trouble. This wasn't his fight. Dragging my only ally into disrepute with me wouldn't solve anything. I'd never forgive myself if this hurts his future as well as mine. I have to make him see that I'll be fine so that he'll back off. Don't worry about me. I'm strong. You know that, don't you? I told you, I'll never confess to this crime. I have faith in myself. What everyone else says doesn't matter. It would break my heart to see you caught up in this. I'll come back. We'll meet again. So, please, don't draw your sword. For a moment, I thought he said KK, like, okay, see you later, bitch, go to jail. Like, but he was just reacting with his normal anime sound, like, ugh, I don't know, whatever. For a moment, Finn stood conflicted. Then the tension drained from him.
わかりました。待っています。
Oh, thank you, Finn. I'm glad I still have a home to return to.
帰るべき場所。
Yes, you, Finn. You'll be my light in the darkness.
俺待っていますから。ずっと。
Oh, God, you're putting so much pressure on this poor man. He's gonna be like, oh my God, I have to wait for her. Like, he's not gonna be able to get married at this rate because of you. Oh my God. Yeah, and I'll be back. Be seeing you, Finn. I boarded the lift and turned around. Finn kept looking at me until the very moment the door closed. The lift began to vibrate as soon as I sat down. I could sense the downward motion. The voice that Finn and I had heard was silent. The lift clearly treated criminals and officials differently. And I'm being sent down as a criminal. Surprised at how calm I was, I leaned back on the seat. It felt just as comfortable as it had the first time. I suspected that the lift was descending at the same rate as previously as well. But this time, there was only me. Finn wasn't here, and neither were the other police officers. I didn't feel alone, but no, I do feel alone. With a heavy heart, I considered my life from that point onward. I had no intention of hiding or running. I was going to have faith in myself and just try to live a just life. That said, I had been disarmed. I felt vulnerable without my sword. I told Finn that I'd believe in myself, and I will. When he'd shown up suddenly, it had surprised me, but I was grateful that I'd been able to see him in the end. I hope they won't give him trouble for what he did. I didn't know what was going to happen to me. I wanted to go back, but truthfully, I didn't know whether I would ever be able to. Finn, I want you to be strong. Damn, this lady's strong as fuck. She literally, like, if my parents were both murdered in front of my eyes, like, if I just saw their dead bodies on the ground, I'd be a sobbing, hysterical mess. And this girl's, like, cried a little bit, and then she's like, alright, now I'm being arrested and thrown into prison, but whatever. Like, what? If I was in this elevator, I'd be sobbing my eyes out. Like, what the heck? Seems that I've arrived. I sighed, uneasy at the lack of sword in my hut. Well, I can't stay in here. Alright then. So bright. As before, the sky in the depths was gloomy and low-hanging. Please don't be Burger. But for me, having slept until not long ago, it was too bright. I looked down and blinked. This distinctive smell, the dampness, I never thought I'd experience it again. My father used to tell me that life is unpredictable. I definitely didn't predict this kind of life. A long, dark shadow moved towards me. I looked up and saw a man wearing the uniform of the hounds. Oh. My treatment already sucks. It's not like I had expected him to start with a greeting and a polite small talk about the weather, but even a little civility would have been appreciated. And I guess we are going to stop right here. This is not a great time. We're having... Wow, there's so much like ding-donging. Let me say that again. We're not having a great time. We just arrived in basically prison, and hopefully we will not see Burger, but I have a feeling that we will end up seeing Burger, which sucks. But anyways, next episode, we will live a life of a criminal, I guess.